how many of us get stuck in our business because we have a label? We get stuck because of we can't come up with a business name. We get stuck because we were told that we need to do this. We need a niche. We need an ideal client avatar. We need branding. We need all of this stuff. How many of us stop moving forward because of this? Today, what we're discussing is getting rid of all these labels because honestly, they suck. You can sit there and you're like, but Dana, no, there's no but Dana on this one. I didn't even do it as the title screen. Why? Because this isn't a but Dana. This is fact. This is fact that all of these labels suck. We become immobilized in our business because we get stuck on certain things. Your name is good enough to be your business name. I mean, come on, guys. My domain name is my name. I actually had to do the .co only because Facebook has banned the .com and no one can tell me why. So, but yet I've owned both of them for years. But here's the thing. A lot of people are thinking, okay, and I was asked yesterday about neurodivergence and if that's what I teach, work on, coach for. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. Again, it's a label. And I like certain labels. At the same time, I don't like certain labels. I understand the concepts behind certain things. And would I consider myself neurodivergent? Absolutely, because my brain is all over the place. I do not think linear. So, of course, I would probably be labeled as that. And again, labeled. But at the same time, that doesn't stop anything. And I think that a lot of people let all these little labels stop them from actually doing what you actually want to do, right? So here you are, you have this entire business that you're building and you stop building it. Why? Because someone told you you needed this. You need to have a niche. Why? You need to have an ideal client. Why? If you're just starting out in your business, how the hell are you supposed to know who you want to work with? I mean, my goodness, I didn't know. Some of the people that I've worked with, I had no idea even existed when I started. So think about these type of things and don't let it stop you, because what's going to happen is that you can get so wrapped up in having a label. You can go so wrapped up in having a title. What are you calling yourself? Who the hell cares? I do this. I mean, this is what I do. If you explain what you do to people, your title doesn't matter. The whole concept is, if you have a business, you are a CEO, plain and simple, boom. I don't care if anyone wants to tell you differently. You are a business owner. You are a goddess. You do whatever the hell you want. You are a CEO of your business, right? So here you are. You have that. Now you're being told you need a business name. Why? Go ahead and make your business your name. Your name is you. Your business is you in its own way. The business is separate, and I've discussed that before, but this is one of those things that we get so wrapped up in, and I've honestly seen people come to a standstill about this. Then they're like, you need to have an ideal client avatar. Why? Ask them why. Well, because you need to know who you're going to talk to. Well, wouldn't you want to decide on how you're going to talk to people first? Believe it or not, that's how I think. And not everyone understands this. Not everyone gets it. Not everyone is like super thrilled with this whole thing. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, you're wrong. Well, if I'm wrong, I've built multiple 7-figure companies the wrong way. And these are the type of things that people just don't seem to comprehend. They don't seem to understand that people who think differently are just fine. We do just perfect. We do it our way. I have, you need this. No, you don't. I'm here to give you permission that you do not need all of this crap. You do not need to have everything aligned in a line to be successful. You do not have to have, oh, good grief, if we come up with offer names, that can stop everything. You know, all of these labels, all of these things that people are putting into our heads are just roadblocks. That if you let go of this concept and just do your thing, you'll get a label because people will apply it to you. I think that's how we categorize everything in our heads. Well, this person is this person is this. But it's finding what works for you. I've seen people who tried to do it all. They were like the unicorn. And if you've watched me, if you've talked to me, you understand that I do not like you. I like unicorns. I do. How can you not? But at the same time, I don't like being called a unicorn because I don't want to do everything. And that's what they're thinking of. That a unicorn is someone that needs to be doing everything for everyone and, you know, picking up all the slack, doing all this, doing all that. And then the person that hires you gets frustrated. I prefer narwhals because narwhals they still have the horn. They're an actual real creature. And they use that horn to break through ice. So they're actually going through something that not everyone can go through. And they're getting to the end point by putting in hard work. And they're focusing on one thing. Does that mean that I think that you should focus on one thing all the time? I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you do have a brain that works similar to mine, there's a good chance. I guess if I labeled it, which again, you know, these, all the tests that tell you how your brain works, your numbers, your whatever archetype that you want to discuss, I guess I know that I'm a quick start. I guess I've been labeled that quite a few times and I hate it. But other people understand the concept, but I don't like the term. I do not like a label. I do not want to be called that because I'm not a quick start all the time. And believe me, you're thinking I'm a quick start, but at the same time, probably that idea has been in my head for possibly a year of what I wanted to do. Take this coaching concept. This coaching concept actually came to me and 3 years ago. I didn't throw this together, but I wasn't ready for it. I did. I threw one together and I threw it out there to see about the response to it. But it wasn't something that, you know, it's been sitting in the back of my head. And I did other things that I enjoyed for the last 3 years. I love building systems, but it's time to change. And going to your business name, see, I do come full circle here. Along with your business name, if I had in the business name, blah, 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 system, whatever, you know, now all of a sudden I'm coaching, I had to change my damn business name. You know, this is one of those things that you actually should think about is where are you going to go with your business? And I guarantee you right now, you do not know because you do not know what's going to happen in the world tomorrow. You do not know what's going to happen in the world in a week, a month, a year. You will have goals. If you are a goal setter, more power to you. I can't journal. I suck at I implement all these project management systems and I hate them. I can't use them. Give me a task list. That's all I need to know. I do not work well with them. I need to have a checklist, and that's all I want. And I swear my mother is laughing hysterically over this because as a child, I hated having lists. So people will label you based on what you do in everything else. Let them label you. Go ahead. But don't get stuck with the label in your head, because then you start to honestly freeze because of that label, because you are afraid to change from that label's concept. So when people tell me, you're a quick start, then all of a sudden I start to feel kind of guilty if I throw something out there, right? Because then people are going to judge the fact that I'm a quick start and, oh, this is just another thing of spaghetti thrown against the wall. The system that I'm coaching on right now, it's called UpCoach. If you're curious, I will put a link in the description here. I bought it a year. So I've been looking at it for a year, and I wanted to take a coaching thing off of Facebook for a year. If you know me, my life changed a year ago, and so that kind of took a back burner. But then when I decided to bring it back up, it's like all in. I knew what it could do, and so it changed. You don't know what's going to happen. The labels that you are putting on things, your niche. If you feel you absolutely have to have one, fine. If that is how your brain works. In my Stop Doing Piddly Shit challenge, we discussed this yesterday, where a lot of times it's okay to have one, but at the same time, who are you it's all about who are you talking to, and thinking about going into a networking room and saying, well, I can't, these people aren't my ideal clients. They aren't in my niche, and blah, blah, blah. How many clients did you lose from that sort of concept in your brain that you could have enjoyed working with, right? So all because you have an idea of who you want to work with the most, maybe you want to work with this one as well, and you'll do just fine. I am a HoneyBook Pro. I build systems on HoneyBook. I love building systems on HoneyBook, and I have for the past 3 years. I do not love working with photographers. I understand the workflow and everything, but it's not who I love working with. I like working with the online service providers, the people that are doing this specific thing. That's okay. Guess what, guys? I work with photographers. Why? Because some of them actually just need certain types of help, and I'm absolutely the person that can help them do that. Then if you go into this ideal client avatar, I really, really hate that term. And you know what's even funnier is that I've actually built worksheets to help you build this avatar, and I can't use it. And I can't use it because I do not honestly believe in it, even though I can build the worksheets and I can tell you, yes, this is what we're doing from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. I don't like it. So since I don't like it, I never use it, and I don't have one. I've worked with people in their 20s. I've worked with people in their 70s. So that kind of rules out that whole age thing, right? I've worked and both of them have been absolutely amazing clients. I've worked with people who, again, photographers, and I've worked with, before marijuana was actually legal in a lot of states, I worked with someone who was promoting that, and he was like 80 something years old. And I worked with him on his social media. That blows that concept out of the way because they're two totally separate things. But man, they were fun to work with, right? And there's all these little things in between. I've worked with companies that are doing I've worked with coaches. I've worked with other different types of people. I've worked with places where, it's just different things. Why? Because it keeps my brain active. If I was to do the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you guys get the idea? I would miss certain things. And it's not necessarily that I would miss like the work, but I might miss details in it. And imagine you're reading a book, and how many of us actually read the word a or the? We don't. We skip over it because it's intended to be there and we just know it is. Now, there are some people that do read one to the next, to the next, to the next, right? And that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. Most people will skim over the words because it's anticipated and it's assumed that it's already there. That's why proofreaders are actually needed to make sure that even when you're writing, that you actually put the word there. So these are the little things that are just there. So labels are just that. They're just labels. The only thing I find labels good for is what's in my spice cabinet. When did I put this thing in the freezer? Those type of things, yeah, those are important. So that type of stuff actually is good to know. I don't want to put cinnamon on something that needs paprika, right? And I definitely don't want to sit there and taste everything because blah. Stop getting hung up on the labels. Stop getting hung up on your label. Stop getting hung up on what you need to have. Another one that they're throwing around is that you need a high dollar offer. Nope. You just need an offer. Whether it's high dollar, whether it's low dollar, whether it's, in between dollar, it doesn't make a difference. It's your offer. It's your damn business. Do what you want with it. So get rid of the labels in your head. I know it's going to suck and you guys are not going to want to. And it takes time to do that. I can tell you right now, I still get hung up on certain things. I get very, very hung up with the whole quick start concept. I've been labeled as a quick start. I've been told I'm a quick start over and over and over and over and over again. And it takes more work to get rid of that thought process than it does to actually have it. And so it actually stops me from putting things out there that actually I've worked on for a while, because everyone's going to say, well, she didn't talk to me about that. Well, of course I didn't talk to you about that. Or why would I? I talk to myself in my head. I'm a very good listener to myself. And a lot of times I've actually probably talked to Joe about it. And he's just like, I have no clue what you're saying, but sounds good. Those type of things, though, if you get stuck on it, it will stop your own growth. So go ahead, get rid of these labels, get rid of the ideas that you want. And guys, you're going to make, it's going to be really kind of cool when you start to release it. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be labeled or have labels or anything else. It just means the one thing. It just means that you don't have to fit into a box. So whether you are so-called neurodivergent, and I'm only saying so-called because, again, it's a label, and I just think that you guys think differently. I think differently. Therefore, I would probably, if anyone wanted to test my brain, and I don't want anyone to, I would be considered neurodivergent. I'd probably have a whole wonderful alphabet to add to my list of alphabet. And that's okay. But at the same time, I don't want the label. So will I ever call myself that? No, I will not. Someone else will, and that's okay. I love you all. You call me whatever you want. My whole concept is going to be around stop doing piddly shit. Stop doing the little things. Stop worrying about the little things, such as freaking labels, and moving forward in a business so that you do not get stuck. And I think so many of us get stuck with all these labels, with all these little things, all this piddly shit, that's where we end up stalling. So guys, I hope that this helped a little bit today, just a little bit. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and have a great Wednesday.